Today we're taking a look at these NHL matches, which are happening on Sunday, December 11th, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus, if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our video, we will give you 2 betting picks for each game, a team pick and a total pick based on facts and detailed explanation. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comments section below. And make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Winnipeg Jets vs Washington Capitals. The Capitals are looking to extend their winning streak and pull off the upset on the road and provide great odds in the process. The problem is that they face one of the best teams in the Western Conference in the Jets that look to overwhelm them on both ends of the ice. The Jets, who average 3.35 goals per game, should constantly find the back of the net with Kyle Connor, Pierre-Luc Dubois, and the rest of the forward unit, establishing a strong offensive zone presence and creating open shots with great puck movement. The Jets, who allow only 2.46 goals per game, should also limit the Capitals' offense with Josh Morrissey, Neil Pionk, and the rest of the defensive unit, creating turnovers in the defensive zone and limiting shots on the net, allowing goaltender Connor Hellebuyck to make plenty of big saves. The Jets should win the game to win their 5th game in a row with a strong performance on their home ice. Take the Jets' money line as home favorites. Both defenses have been doing well as Washington is giving up 2.93 goals per game, while Winnipeg is allowing 2.46 goals per game so far. The penalty kill has been critical as well, with the Capitals killing 80.7% of all penalties committed, while the Jets are killing 84.5% of all penalties this season. The under is 12-4-1 in their previous 17 games played in Winnipeg, so go with under 6 goals here as well. Take under 6 goals. Arizona Coyotes vs Philadelphia Flyers. A second consecutive defeat, 0-1-1, was on the cards for the Philadelphia Flyers, 9-13-6, who kicked off their current 4-date road trip with a 2-1 overtime setback against the Vegas Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena on Friday. The Flyers, who had no power play opportunities in Sin City, were outshot 34-28 but killed both of their penalties, blocked 22 attempts and out-hit Vegas 40-23, eventually tying the game at 1-1 at the start of the second period, only for the hosts to bounce back with a winner at 3:21 of the extra session. Scott Laughton, 4 goals, 10 points this year, tallied for Philly, which has dropped 4 of its past 5 decisions, 1-3-1, having won just twice in its most recent 16 games, 2-10-4. The Arizona Coyotes, 8-13-4, snatched their first victory in the past 7 outings, 1-4-2, after ending their unsightly 19-game losing streak, 0-18-1, to the Boston Bruins, with a 4-3 triumph at Mullet Arena on Friday. The Yotes, who last beat the Bees on October 9, 2010, 5-2, led 3-2 in the third period before Boston equalized during power play, only for Lawson Crouse, 12 goals, 15 points this year, to register the win with his second snipe of the night, with 14 seconds remaining on the clock. Josh Brown, 3 goals, 4 points, and Nick Schmaltz, 4 goals, 5 points, also scored for Arizona, which won only for the second time in its previous 12 matchups, 2-7-3. Both the Coyotes and the Flyers are amongst the current strugglers of the NHL, having gone 2-7-3 and 2-10-4 in their most recent 12 and 16 outings respectively. Having said that, Arizona has a bit of an upper hand here. The team has hardly played on its own ice this season due to conflicting schedules with the Arizona State hockey program at its new HQ at the Mullet Arena at Arizona State University. In fact, the Yotes have played just 5 domestic fixtures throughout the whole ongoing campaign. They have, however, collected points in 3 of them, 2-1, winning 2 of the very last 3, 2-1-0. Philadelphia, meanwhile, has failed to triumph in any of its past 7 road matchups, going with 21 defeats in its previous 27 outings against opponents, with a losing record. That is bad. Take Arizona Coyotes. The Philadelphia Flyers have been brutal this season and need to figure out how to improve a lot more as the season continues on. They are terrible offensively as they are last in the NHL with 2.36 goals per game. They are coming off a 2-1 overtime home loss against the Vegas Golden Knights last time out. These are 2 of the worst offensive teams in the entire sport, so expecting goals here is a tough thing to expect. The Flyers are scoring 2 goals in their previous 5 games, while the Coyotes are averaging 2.5 goals in their last 4 games. The under has hit in 5 of the last 6 Flyers games, and in the previous 6 Coyotes games against Metropolitan Division opponents, so go with under 6 goals here. Vegas Golden Knights vs Boston Bruins. 3 different players scored goals for Boston in the loss, including David Pastrnak, who has scored goals in 4 straight games, tallying 5 total during that span. The Bruins' power play connected twice in the loss and are now 4th at 28.7%. They are also first in penalty killing at 85.9%. Statistically, Boston is a powerhouse, first in goals against average 2.15 and second in goals per game, 3.92. The Vegas Golden Knights, 28-1, 15-14 ATS, defeated the Philadelphia Flyers on Friday, 2-1, thanks to an overtime tally by Jonathan Marchessault. This was a great goaltending battle, as William Carrier gave the Golden Knights the lead 11:45 into the contest, only to see Philadelphia tie the game less than 2 minutes in the second. Neither team could light the lamp from there, forcing overtime. The Golden Knights have also received spectacular goaltending, 5th in goals against average, 2.66, but have not been as prolific offensively, 14th overall at 3.28 goals per game. The club has struggled to score at home recently, recording 6 total goals in their last 4 games at the T-Mobile Arena. The Bruins had won 19 in a row facing the Arizona Coyotes before losing to them 4-3 on the road in their last game. It looked as if the game was going to go to overtime, but Boston gave up the game-winning goal with only 14 seconds remaining in regulation. In the loss, David Pastrnak, Charlie Coyle, and Nick Foligno all lit the lamp, and they scored 2 of the goals on the power play. The fact that the Golden Knights defeated the Bruins in Boston earlier this week would seem to make Vegas the favorite, but this is not the same team at home. They have dominated on the road 12-1, but are just 8-6-0 at home. It has not just been an inability to score that has been the problem either. In the last 4 home games, they have allowed 15 total goals, including allowing 4 or more in 3 of those contests. Boston has been dominant at home, but is 7-4-0 on the road. That is respectable, and they show their ability to beat the top teams out west, as they shut out Colorado on Wednesday, 4-0. One has to like this very well-rounded Bruins team, and their special teams are no joke. Take the Boston Bruins. The reason the Bruins are tied for the most points in the NHL is they have been great on both sides of the ice, averaging 3.92 goals per game and leading the league, only giving up an average of 2.15 goals per game. Pastrnak ranks tied for 7th in the league in points, 37, and tied for 5th in goals, 19. He has been en fuego as of late, scoring at least 1 goal in the last 4 games, and over the last 9 games he has scored 10 goals. 5 other players have at least 20 points, and the Bruins have won 6 of their last 8 games facing the Golden Knights. On the season, Boston is 7-4-0 on the road. In their last game, the Golden Knights were at home and beat the Philadelphia Flyers 2-1 in OT, where they played much better D than their previous game where they gave up 5 goals. In the 2-1 win, William Carrier scored in regulation, Jonathan Marchessault played the hero, scoring the game winner in OT, and both goals were unassisted. When these 2 teams met in Boston a few days back, the total went over, but I am leaning towards the under in this game. The main reason is that Ullmark will likely be in goal for the Bruins after they started their backup in their loss last night. Ullmark leads the NHL in GA and save percentage, has only given up 1 goal in each of his last 2 starts, and was not in goal in the recent road loss to the Golden Knights. Thompson is Vegas's top netminder, and he will likely go in this game, and has given up 8 goals in the last 2 games, with of them facing Boston giving up 3 goals. Boston will get some goals but not many, and the Golden Knights will struggle to score on the Bruins' defense, which leads the league in goals against per game. This non-conference affair will be a low-scoring defensive one, so the under is the pick. Take the under 6 goals.